Welcome back to Trail Tales. If you're into hiking or enjoy the great outdoors, then this video is for you. With this channel, we seek to inspire you by bringing you along on epic hikes we've discovered throughout our travels. This time we're in Austria, at the base of the Grossglockner, the country's highest mountain. We'll be hiking along the valley carved out by the Pasterze Glacier, one of the largest in the Alps. The planned route would take us just under 10 kilometers from the visitor center down to the valley floor, then jutting out northwest to get closer to the glacier. Afterwards, we'd continue down the valley, following the meltwater and down to the reservoir powering the hydroelectric dam. Finally, we would ascend a steep section of switchbacks and follow the road back to where we started. To get to the trailhead, we drove up the Grossglockner High Alpine Pass. We saw as many sports cars tearing up the tarmac as we did folks like us, mindfully managing the many meandering miles between the base of the valley and our starting point. The toll for this road costs €36, but it is well worth it. Not only does it include access to 48 kilometers of pristine pavement, but also ample parking and a plethora of picturesque places to pull over and pause. Our hike began at Kaiser Franz Josefshöhe, a well-appointed tourist centre with restaurants, viewing platforms, and normally a vintage funicular for accessing the glacier on the valley floor. The Pasterze Glacier, like so many around the world, is currently in dramatic retreat, losing some 50 meters in length every year. It is but a shadow of its former self. Just 100 years ago, the valley it filled would be unrecognizable. A lake now fills the void that it left behind. It remains the longest glacier in Austria, some 8 kilometers long, and lies directly beneath Grossglockner, Austria's tallest mountain, standing 3,798 meters tall. We were hiking in May, and we were lucky with the weather. Despite overcast skies, it remained dry for the 5 hours we were on foot. Given the altitude we were at, the wind had a cold sting to it as it blew down the valley.
It's an additional hour to hike up to the glacier, and it's an additional 45 minutes to get back to the car at the end. Yeah. So it's probably like 4 hours and 45 minutes, but we take a lot of photos, so maybe a little longer. This is a little jutta, and you can basically walk along the little glacier lake here, and this is what's going to take the extra hour before you're going to continue down the other side. So here we go.
Lead the way. And now we have to climb back up in order to head back down the valley. Woo! Not so cold anymore. Awestruck though we were by the majesty of these mighty mountains, I couldn't help but feel guilty for being part of the reason for the reverse in this glacier's stature. Global warming is affecting glaciers globally on two fronts. Rising temperatures increase the rate at which they melt, and drier air reduces snowfall, slowing the rate at which they can regrow. We will very likely be the last generation that gets to see any glaciers, potentially until the next ice age. Without drastic climate action, they will all melt, sending what little potable water Earth has to offer into the sea, causing unconscionable chaos to countless coastal cities worldwide.
The real trail begins.
This is the way. There's this big chunk of ice and snow in our way. What are we going to do?
Let's see.
Against my better judgment, we're climbing over the top. No. Well, we made it.
It wasn't that bad. If you
No.
went slowly.
No, I'm always nervous of big piles of ice like that because of the overhangs, and you might fall through. You don't know how solid it is underneath you.
It's true. If you hadn't seen us come down, I honestly don't know how you would have gotten up, because all of the trail markers were almost hidden behind the snow. So another reason to kind of do it from the top instead of from the bottom, but maybe not a problem in a month.
So we're walking along the lake shore on what was likely only a month ago, completely submerged, maybe even just a few days ago. As all the meltwater from these mountains around us and the glacier pours down, it's got to go somewhere. The flat terrain has really saved us a rock face scramble, and we need to save all of our energy because we're all the way down here. And we're heading up there. Even climbing these small little ups and downs is tough.
Yeah. We can do it.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah, going back would be worse.
The trail would lead us further down the valley to a reservoir, skirting along its banks and over 2 dams. We'd seen just a single pair of hikers in the past hour and a half, so we were able to revel in the majesty of these mountains in solitude.
This trail is so much more legit than they made it out to be. Where is the photo of this? This is us before the big ascent back. We're in high spirits, or at least I am.
Yeah, it's we're getting close to it and it's looking quite daunting. I'm a little alarmed.
Yeah, we're only at 3 hours right now, which I was like, oh wow, we're gonna finish this in no time, but it's definitely gonna take us at least an hour to just get this last little part.
You think an hour from here up to there? An hour to do that? It looks so small on the screen.
Okay, 5% done. Have a look at this zigzag. You can see the trail wending its way up that big old hill. So what we've done so far was just a warm-up. We're slightly concerned by these mountain goats. They've got very big, sharp, pointy horns, and they've got young with them. They've got little kids. We don't really want to get on their angry side, because they're just going to kick us all the way down this steep cliff. Congratulations!
We did it! Oh my god!
We made it up to the road. Still another half an hour to go back to the car, but we're on the home stretch.
Overall, this was a fantastic hike with views I'd never seen before. I was so grateful to have seen this glacier up close and get a real feel for the altitude of the Alps. As I mentioned, we got lucky with the weather, but it could easily have rained or even snowed on us that day, so prepare for everything when you pack. Bring plenty of snacks. You'll need to keep your energy up for the ascent on the return journey. This is a national park, so it is a strict no drone zone with fines of up to 50,000 euros, even if you're licensed to fly in Austria. Overall, I'd give this trail 5 stars. There was not a single moment that I didn't enjoy. The trail itself was 9.35 kilometers long. We gained a total of 530 meters of elevation. It took us about 5 hours, including stopping time. Overall, it was a moderate hike. While some routes in all trails suggest taking the road and walking through the tunnel, this is extremely dangerous since there is no pedestrian footpath through the narrow and unlit tunnel. The zigzag may look harder, but it is far safer and will actually save you some time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and let me know in the comments what you thought. If you have suggestions for other hikes in the area, please share with everyone. And if you think you'd like to see more content like this, please consider subscribing.